What is going on, Predators? Travis here at the Apex Predator Outdoors. Today we're going to be talking about building a new set of arrows for the rest of the hunting season and going on into 2024. So what I've got today is I really wanted to try out several new components. One of the ones being these new inserts from NEXXUS Archery. So these new inserts are a titanium insert that weigh about 75 grains. That's the insert and the collar piece. And so they look like they're going to be really rugged, but they're also incredibly well machined, and I'm really excited about that. Before we get started though, I want to thank the sponsor of this channel. Obviously, we know the Easy Veins and Crafted Archery. If you look in the links below, you can see the links in the description to get discounts on those things as you go shop on their websites. But besides that, I wanted to thank the members of the channel. So if you want to sign up to be a member of the channel, then you can just go down at the bottom bar down at the bottom of the video here, and that will allow you to sign up to be a member. You can start as little as $1, and that allows you to get all of my videos as soon as they're released to the channel, and that way you can get them before the general public. So thanks for watching, guys, and without further ado, let's do further.
All right, Predators, so here we go. We're got the setup here. So we already got our arrows here. So we are using two different kinds of fletches. So we have the Easy Veins here. So these are my preferred to go to. If you look over here, I've got a ton of those things ready on standby. But we've got the Easy Veins here, which are my preferred fletching of choice. But we're also going to be doing a testing to make things fair. We're going to be testing against the AAE hybrid. Okay, so I had these professionally fletched. I don't know if you can see that close up or anything. Let's see, let's look here. So these are professionally fletched. This was done by Archery Country out in Austin, Texas. I paid $30 to have them fletch 6 arrows. All right, so we've got those. Let me grab one more of these Easy Veins. So this is one of the greatest things about the Easy Veins. There's a lot of great things about them. How customizable they are, that they are custom fit for your arrow and your build. And you can order them, like I said, I don't know if you can see that, but there are tons of Easy Veins I've got over here. So what we're going to do is, like I said, I've got several different kinds. You can see I've got the shorter ones. These are a 2.5 inch Easy Vein, and then I've got a 2 3/4 inch Easy Vein, which I'm going to put that back. I'm actually going to use the 2.5 inch ones right now, which are these right here. Okay. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to install these things on your arrow. It's actually pretty ridiculous how simple it is. I usually don't glue these down until I'm completely done with the tuning process, but I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So basically what you do is you can just slide these on there. So I've got a bare arrow shaft right here, right? So what I do is I'm going to clip it. I'm going to say I want to go down to there. I can kind of set the length. All right, so I set the length a little bit further. I like my fletchings to be a little further down the arrow shaft, so like about that. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just setting this clip here down to the length that I want it to, okay? I'm gonna get my glues. This is the Super Glue. I love that name, okay? And I'm just gonna put a little bit on here. I don't need a lot. I'm gonna put it about a 1/2 inch up. See that, just a little tiny bead, okay? Get my Easy Vein, and I just slide it on. That's it. Okay, I can take the clip off, and now we've got it set. So you see how easy that was? Now, if I were to do the same thing with fletching jig, I get my jig here, just for comparison. Unlock it, okay? You need a vise for this thing really more than anything too. All right, I've got my different things. I'll pop them open here. This one doesn't want to pop open for some reason. Is it glued there? Yep, the glue's stuck on there. Okay, well, we'll roll with it. So anyways, if you hadn't glued your fletching jig shut, you'd put your fletch in there. And this is probably, this Arizona Easy Fletch jig here is probably the easiest way I've ever seen to do these kind of fletches. So then I put all 3 of these in there, okay? And again, just from using this in the past, this thing's actually glued shut. I'm gonna try to break this open without breaking it. Okay, there we go. All right, snap the glue. So then what I'm going to do is I would put the arrow in here, all right? I'm going to put the knock down inside there. Okay. Obviously I've already got fletches on these, and this is a 4 fletch, but I've only got a 3 fletch jig. But then what I would do is I would take this and I would clamp it down on the arrow. In fact, we'll use this side of the arrow just for demonstration purposes, okay? Put that down in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right here, glue right there, glue on this one here. All right. Then I'm going to release this clamp here. There we go, and so it's clamped. I got a little bit of time where I can move it around if I need to, and then once it's on there, it's gonna basically keep it pressed up against that, and it's gonna fletch it. But here's the thing, look, I've already got a problem. This isn't sitting right in there. It's already crooked. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to straighten it out. I would slide this little guy over the top of it, and then this is going to, I can't do it. Anyways, but this would slide over here and it would lock that into place, so it's gonna hold it like that and make sure that all this fletching's dry there. Once I'm done with that, I have to wait about 4 or 5 minutes, make sure that glue's set right, and then I take it out and it should be properly fletched, okay? But again, I don't have this in a 4 fletch, I've only got a 3 fletch. I don't use a 3 fletch, I use a 4 fletch, so. Okay, so that's just one of the benefits here, is that it way less glue. Okay, there's less super glue on your arrow. It's much easier to take them off. So if I want to, before, let's say I'm doing a tuning job, right, and I've got this on there, if I want to take it off, I literally just pull on it and it comes off. Okay, it's friction fit on there tight enough that it's not going to just slide around. Okay, but if I want it on there and I'm tuning my arrows or something like that, and I want to make it a little adjustment or something, or let's say I just want to bare shaft tune this one now, I can just pull it off. Now we can go bare shaft tune this one, all right? So I'm gonna do that one more time. So I'm gonna set this here, and again, I'm gonna match it up to this arrow. So I already glued this one on. So I wanna slide that down just a little bit. Let me line my arrows up. Right there, okay? So I can measure it up to that one. Little tiny bead of glue. And again, I'm going to slide the fletching all the way down to that clip. And so I want the glue to be up a little bit higher. And there we go. And just give it a little pull, because I was pushing hard on the back side of it. So I'll just give it a little pull to straighten it out. And there we go. It's already set. Like, I can't pull that off now. It's set that quick. So I've already got 2 arrows fletched while I'm talking and teaching, and the time that would take me to, I could probably do a whole dozen arrows in the time that it takes me to do the normal fletching method here. So this right here is a good example of what happens whenever you try to remove fletches, glued on fletches off of an arrow shaft, and you end up with cuts in your arrow shaft. You end up with all this other gunk on there. And so it kind of, if you use a wrap, it's not as much of a problem, but you know, adding a wrap to your fletches always adds more weight too. So you have to compensate for that. You have to calculate that whenever you're, you know, building your arrows and sighting in your sight tape and everything. But removing this off is just an absolute pain in the ass. And let me tell you, Archery Country, I did a really good job gluing these on there, although I had to wait an entire day for them to have enough time to fletch these for me. But I wanted them to do it because I wanted a 4 fletch. I don't have a 4 fletch jig. So it cost me $30 to get them fletched by a professional. And I did a good job, but this is my point. Again, full speed now. So I'm gonna measure, I'm gonna set my carbon there. I want my arrow to, or my fletching to go right there, so I'm gonna clip that on. I like it. Move down just a hair. Clips on, okay. So I grab my fletching, glue. Okay, just a little bit of glue, tiny bit of glue. Less glue is needed here than would be needed for one fletching on a standard fletch, or a standard arrow fletching. There we go, put my knock back in, and it's set, good to go. One last one, just for funsies. Just for funsies. We'll take that, lock it down. Okay, and I'm going to slide this on all the way down to the clip, and then twist. Boom, done. Do I have one more? Yep, got one more. So clip it on. A little bead of glue, literally just one little tiny bead. Slide it on, twist it, we're done. Sorry, I didn't mean to slam into the desk. There is no faster way to fletch your arrows. I would challenge anybody to a race. If you find a better fletching system or you find something that is faster, let me know. I will totally race you when it comes to fletching these. I've got a lot of them, so I will challenge anybody to a race. Let's have a fletching race, see who can fletch arrows the fastest. All right, so next what we got is we got these right here. All right, so these are the Infinity Defender titanium outserts, okay, by NEXXUS Archery. I've been wanting to try a new insert for my arrows because I'm just not very happy with the standard run-of-the-mill aluminum inserts that come with the Victory arrows. So this right here is that standard aluminum insert. That is a standard 50 grain aluminum insert, and they get the job done, don't get me wrong. And one thing I like about these is that for a factory insert, they actually fit really well. So they will go up, and the arrow actually goes up inside of that a little bit, so it protects the end of the arrow, which is fine, but we got to get better, okay? So these right here are a little bit heavier. These are a 75 grain insert. What I love about these is how well they're machined, and they actually have a screw-on collar here. So if you've used, let me pull some out here. So if you've ever used the Ethics archery system, I got some brand new ones. So this is the man, I can't talk today. This is the Ethics archery system. And so basically what you do is you have a long post that goes in the arrow shaft. Then you've got the collar that goes over it, right? And it slides on there. Here's the problem that I've had with these Ethics archery ones though. Even though I've got the right sized collars for it, I always end up having to shave down with the sandpaper, sand down the tip of my arrow so that this collar fits on there right. And that's always been a huge deal for me because it really affects your arrow, man. Like I know it sounds stupid, but the fact that you're taking off the outer layer of the arrow just to get your footer on there is crazy to me. So I've seen this design, like I said, this is the NEXXUS insert here. So I've seen this design before, and it's right here. It's in the Crafted Archery ones that come with, these are the free inserts that come with the arrows when you buy the arrows. So these are the 250 spine carbon ultralights here. And so with these, like I say, they come with it, and it's an aluminum insert with I believe this is I'm not sure if that's aluminum or stainless outsert, but anyways, so you glue the insert in there, and then the outsert screws onto it. But I'm going to go a step up. So even though those are pretty well made and everything, I'm going to go with these because the NEXXUS one is made out of titanium. Okay, so here's kind of how the fitment looks, and you can see that looks nice and good in there. My arrow spinner just broke on me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to glue all these in, set them up and everything, and then I'm going to go spin them later. But they're just so well machined, and I like that they've got these little grooves here for the glue to set in, so it gives you a better adherence to the inside of the shaft, because if it fits too tight, you're not going to get enough glue to hold these in place. So overall, these are just really well engineered, and I really like that. So we're going to use these. Okay, and so here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and screw this collar back on, a titanium collar. Okay, I'm going to check the fitment here, make sure it fits inside the shaft and everything correctly. Okay, yep, everything fits good. And so here's what we're going to do is I'm going to get a pair of pliers. All right, I'm just going to get a pair of pliers. These are actually like needle drivers, or wire strippers. But I'm going to do this because I don't want to hurt myself here. And so I'm going to, if I can get this going, turn on my torch. I use one of these little propane torches here because it gives really easy, very fast heat. Okay, So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of heat on that. Okay. Then I'm gonna heat up my hot melt. I use hot melt personally because I feel like I really like that flexibility. I can take it back out without destroying the arrow shaft, and it doesn't come out unless I really want it to come out. I don't think I've ever had it. I think maybe once in a bag target I had an, in the middle of summer that is, I had an arrow insert come out because it was too hot. But all we do, once I get the hot melt and everything on there, I'm gonna go ahead and heat it up under the torch again real quick. And then I'm going to slide this in. I'm twisting the whole time. And then I'm gonna push it. I got a stone here that I use so I don't dent my bench again. I push it on there. Now I'm gonna set that aside and let it cool. Okay, and we're gonna do another one. So it's a pretty easy process. Again, don't burn yourself with your torch. I have done that shit before and it hurts like really bad. I'll bring my stone here so you can see better. So again, heat up the insert just a little bit. Heat up the hot melt. Wipe it on. This is the Easton hot melt, by the way. I'm trying it out. I've never really used it. I usually use the boning hot melt. I don't like the blue hot melt, so I know they say, oh, it's for carbon arrows or whatever, but don't use the blue. It sucks. The cool melt, it melts way too low of a temperature. Okay. Push it on my rock. There we go. And I'm just gonna keep going down the line here and chunking along. So I'm gonna keep talking while I'm doing this. If you don't wanna listen to that, you can skip forward. I'll put some chapters on the bottom of the video here so you can skip forward to a different point where you don't have to listen to me ramble on about stuff. But I'm gonna talk about my previous experiences with building arrows. So on this channel, this is about my, I think the third or fourth arrow build that I've done on this channel. I've done others in the past too, but most of them have been with Victory archery. So I've used the VAPs. That's one of my original videos on this channel, is I built some VAP arrows and I use those. Great arrows. I still stand by their quality today. Then I've also used the VAP TKO, and I've used also the Victory, let me think, I used the VAP TKO, I've used the VAP SS arrows, so that's 3 arrow builds. Then I've also used the Extortion, which was their very first, or the very first arrows that had stainless steel woven into the arrow itself. So those were a game changer, man. They were a good idea. In hindsight though, I felt like the VAP SS was a hell of a lot better execution on the idea of having stainless steel woven into the arrows. They were just way more durable, worked way better than the Extortion, because I did have a couple Extortions have, in the longer term, have some that had issues with fracturing. It didn't come until the arrows got a little bit older. But yeah, the VAP SS was just, you know, 100% a way better stainless steel woven arrow. All right, so okay, building that. Just got a couple more. No, I got a few more. Anyway, so the VAP SS was really good. That was one of my favorite arrows I've used to date. But like I said, once I got this to trying these arrows, so in the process of trying all these different arrows, I guess I should word this, I've noticed something very interesting, is that with a lot of those arrows, they cost, for a dozen, almost $200, okay? And I've still had those $200 arrows break, you right? They're great arrows, don't get me wrong. But I got tired of buying so many expensive ass arrows just to have them break on me anyways. I thought, oh hell, maybe I'm gonna get a more durable arrow. And I think the only exception to that rule as far as the Victory arrows are concerned was definitely the VAP SS. The Extortion were pretty strong too, but not as strong as some of the others. But like the VAP TKO are great arrows. They're very lightweight. I love a 3K weave arrow as well, but they were fragile, man. I shot one into the dirt at like 15 yards and just snapped the arrow in half. Like, all the componentry was fine. The broadhead that even hit a rock was fine. Or no, actually, sorry. The broadhead that hit a log, a very thin log, was fine. But the arrow just snapped in half, and I was actually really disappointed because I had a couple of arrows do that to me. and I was a little shocked and just a little disappointed. So anyways, I decided to go with something a little bit different. So I found the Crafted Archery arrows, and I found the Arrow 1 broadheads first, and man, I was just absolutely in love with these broadheads. And so I wanted to test it. I wanted to go for the, forward with it. I saw a review on John Lusk's YouTube channel, Lusk Archery Adventures, and I thought the Crafted Archery looked amazing. And so I bought some. Actually, take that back. My now ex-wife bought me some for Father's Day one year. Very thoughtful. I had to guide her on that because she didn't know anything about arrows. So, but anyways, so she got me those, and I tried them out, and I loved them. And we had Dan Kraft of Crafted Archery on the podcast one time with me and Dean, and that was that is actually the highest viewed podcast episode that we've got. So if you want to see more of them, go check that out. There, I'll put a link up at the top of the screen somewhere here for the. You can go check out the entire playlist of the podcast there, which you can also listen to on iTunes and other apps like that. But the Smash Pass podcast, we had Dan Kraft on there, and he talked about this, and I was like, man, that's an amazing. I love the story, and I love the fact that he just built all this stuff out of necessity. He's like, all the other stuff that we're using worked, but there was a lot of it that was just crap out there, and I just wanted to build something that worked consistently. You wanted to be able to shoot an animal, reload that arrow into his quiver, and go back in the field again. So that's why I love the Crafted Archery stuff, because it just works. And so that's how I ended up getting the arrows. I tried the arrows out, and Dan was gracious enough to add me to the pro staff for Crafted Archery. Okay, because I believe in their products. I think they work. It's not anything fancy, but they're way more affordable and just as durable and just as straight as a lot of other arrows out there, and just as sharper broadheads, all the things, just got all the quality without all the price. So I really believe in what Dan's doing over there at Crafted Archery, so go check his stuff out. There's a link in the description below to get a discount on his stuff too. But one of the coolest things about Dan and Crafted Archery in general is the products. The products are great, and you got a guy that believes in the products, and that's why he uses them. But one of the greatest things about them too, man, is that where was I going with that? God dang, my ADD is terrible. Oh, so whenever he brought me on as part of the pro staff, he told me straight up, he's like, look, if you find that there's something that works better for you, go ahead and use it, man. He goes, I'm not here to lock you down. I'm not here to say you can't use this. And you can use whatever you want, man. If you find something else works out for you, go ahead and use it. That's fine. And that's amazing from a company, especially in this industry, because you see so many guys, there's some of these like influencer archer dudes that are like, I believe in Matthew's bows, or I believe in this bow because that's the one that's always worked for me. And it's like, well, no, but it's because they're paying you a lot of money, and we all know that, right? And I'm not saying that means that the quality of the product is bad. They're not. I mean, a lot of times they're great, but the problem I have with it is that these guys will almost never do anything else. They'll almost never try anything else because their sponsor doesn't want to see them shooting something else, right? But Dan Kraft was like, hey man, if you find something you like better, just let me know. Like, just use it. Or he didn't even say let me know. He just said, just go ahead and use it. Doesn't matter to me, man. Because he just wants to build a product, and he got a lot of requests for people wanting to share that. They said, hey, like, I like what you were using there. Let me try it out. And I think that's a great way to build a great company with a lot of success. So if you like that mission, you want to listen to that podcast, first of all, go check it out, because it was really good talking to him. You could tell during the podcast that Dan was like nervous. He doesn't usually do podcasts. I mean, I don't blame him. But anyways, it was a really good interview, and it was good talking to him. Always love me a good Aussie accent. So go check him out. And I want to get pretty soon, I want to try to get my boy Brendan over here from Easy Veins on the podcast as well, because like I say, Brendan approached me initially, and he said, hey, in one of my videos where I was reviewing these Zinger fletches, I was like, hey, the Zinger fletches are awesome. Like, I was a really early adopter of them back when they very, very first started, and I started using their stuff. And it works. They do actually work. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about them, but he said in the video, he goes, hey, have you ever tried the Easy Veins? I said, never even heard of them. He goes, well, here, go to this website, check them out. I was like, okay. So I bought some, and you know, that was during the COVID pandemic, and so it took a while for them to get to me, you know, because all the restrictions and everything. But he got them over to me. I tried them out, and I instantly was like just in love with them, you know. And so I tried those veins out, and I was just like, dude, these are hands down the easiest fletching system I've ever used. One of the most durable fletching systems I've ever used. I think they're much more durable because they're not a bunch of individual veins glued on there, right? And that's another point to bring up is if one of these veins comes off, I have to refletch the entire arrow. The odds of being able to get it lined up so perfectly that it's not going to affect my flight means that I'm usually, if when I lose one vein on here, I'm going to have to refletch the whole thing. If I lose one vein on here, well, first of all, it's not going to happen because this is all one solid piece. But if it does like tear or something like that, I can literally just strip that off with a knife, tear it off, and slide another one on, and I'm ready to go again. I mean, it's just so insanely easy, guys. I hope you give it a try. And I'll tell you what, I might be doing a giveaway because I got a lot of Easy Veins here for you to, I want to give some away to you guys to try out. A little sample pack per se, because they're just amazing, man. Just amazing. All right, shameless promotion over. Let's jump in here and let's screw these on. So now that I've got that set in there, okay, I'm going to take this, screw it on, and you see how much easier that was than the Ethics archery inserts. So now I'm going to put my field tip in there. I'm using 100 grains up front here for my field tip. Okay, so screw this on there. I'm using 100 grains for the field tip because I'm changing what type of broadheads I use. I think I'm going to go do the 100 grain arrow ones for my broadheads this year. But again, Dan told me, hey, you can try whatever you want. And there's actually a little secret. It's laying around here somewhere. You can probably see it if you're really keen-eyed. But basically, one thing I wanted to do for a while, and Dean and I have been talking about this. If you don't know who Dean is, go watch any of our podcasts. He's on there. But one thing we have wanted to do for a while is we've wanted to develop and build our own broadhead. And so that's something that we want to do too. I know it sounds like, oh, you're competing against the guy that's your sponsor. Well, Dan also does arrows. Dan does these lighted nocks. By the way, if you have not seen these lighted nocks, these are the best lighted nocks on the market here. I've been using this thing for a year. I'm surprised it still works. There we go. So these are the best lighted nocks on the market, man. Even though I've got several bright lights shining on me right now, these things are still incredibly bright. And tell you what, man, the purple, don't knock me for getting purple. Try it out. These things are incredibly bright, man. So easy on and off. These are the Bright Eyes, sorry, from Crafted Archery. So check it out. Good stuff. All right, so let's finish screwing these on. So again, you look, I got the tip there, and I just screw it in. Nice, I don't know if you can hear my hands there, a nice tight fit there. Okay. So I might try my, I don't know if I showed you this method before, but I call it I don't have an arrow spinner method of spinning your arrows. We'll try that here in just a minute. So there are ways, if you don't have a professional arrow spinner, like I said, mine broke. Okay, then there's a way to spin your arrows still. Okay, we're gonna do that in just a minute. I think I got a mouse in the garage. Bastard. All right, last one. Got a little bit of hot melt still left on there. Okay. That's okay, that collar takes it right off. All right. So now we have built all these things. I'm gonna screw these back in here so I don't lose them. And one thing I always do is I carry my little kit with me to make sure I don't lose all my gear. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in here. All right, guys, so we've got another arrow build in the book. So these are the Crafted Archery Carbon Ultralights. We have the Easy Veins, the 4-fletch. These are a right helical Easy Veins. I've got the NEXXUS inserts on them, and then some of the cheapest Chinese field points that you can get. But hey, cheap Chinese field points, but guys, every one of these was within 1/10 of a grain match to each other. Even the big brands that are also made in China, the big brands out there, I have not seen any that are that closely matched in spine weight. So here we go, guys. This is the build. This is what we're going to be shooting for the rest of this year. I'm probably going to order some more of these, but we're going to do some more tests here tomorrow. I'm going to come back and I'm going to shoot these and show you how well they work. But let's go ahead and do some spin tests real quick. So there's a little cheap way, if you're like me and you have an arrow spinner that broke, is you can just roll it on another arrow here. And so if your arrows are straight, that's pretty damn straight right there, you'll see that wobble on there. Okay, that's pretty damn good. Double check again. I say I give it a little twist, make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, I'm good with that one. This is the poor man's arrow spinner. That one had a tiny bit of wobble. Let me double check that, make sure everything's tight. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go, classy. Next one. Okay, that one still has a tiny bit of wobble. I might need to go back to that one. And what I'll do is I want to square up the end again with my arrow squaring tool and check it that way. So put that one up there because that was the one that needed to be resquared. That one also has a little bit of wobble on it. Again, I have already glued one insert in here and I'm taking it off and glued another one, so I probably just have to go re-square those ends there. Okay. All right. So there we go. We got them all built. These three right here, let me double check. I'm going to take, first thing I'm going to do to check, I got a little bit of a wobble on them. Okay. Here's how we check that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I don't have any hot melt stuck on the inside of this, because I heard earlier I didn't get it all off on there. I'm going to screw that collar back on first. Set these aside. All right. And then I'm going to check that wobble again. There we go. Got the same fletching here. Let's make sure it's even. That's actually a lot better. So just by taking that off, yeah, much better. Okay. All right. So all of those are spinning great now. We are good to go. All right, guys. So next video, or next part of this is we're going to take these and we are going to set them free out of the bow.
Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you tuning into the channel, and we'll see you again next time. As always, keep defying the odds.